I'm KC8XJ, and I'm with Universal Radio. And today we're very excited to bring everyone a close look at Icom's IC-7700. They've only got one other model in their line that comes with more features than this, and this 7700 is one of the most impressive HF transceivers I have ever had a chance to test and play with. This is something that is designed for the serious HF user, somebody who's looking for a contesting rig. This thing, I think, just raises the bar as far as precision and build quality in the transceivers lines out there. If you're looking for one of the best receivers in the market and a very powerful 200-watt transmitter that's rated for full duty cycle, this is a rig that you can run those pile-ups with, run as hard as you can, as long as you want, and this thing's going to just perform flawlessly. This has got a nice, impressive, big radio feel. It's one of the largest radios Icom makes. It's got a 7-inch LCD display that gives you beautiful imagery of the scopes, also both for your audio and the band scope as you're looking across. One of the best and most beautiful displays that's on the market right now. Just amazing capabilities of the information this thing can show you. As you're looking at it though, believe it or not, it's not an extremely difficult radio to use. Most of the mid-priced HF transceivers in Icom's line all function about the same. So once you get to know your way around one Icom rig, you're very familiar with it, and stepping into a bigger rig like this is going to be very easy. You can jump straight to bands off of the keypad on the front of the display. You're going to be able to do direct frequency input on that keypad. Each of your filters as you cycle through, you're going to be able to use your twin passband tuning to move the skirts from side to side on the filters. And all of those main features are similar from Icom's more basic transceivers all the way up through their top of the line stuff. All of the knobs that are on this are going to be made out of aluminum. And even the outside trim rings on these have little rubberized grips that are on them. And you can just see the attention to detail. The tuning knob on this thing is very heavy. Even the finger indent has a ball bearing in it so that it rolls very smoothly. There's a clutch underneath the bottom of the radio that you can adjust, so you can adjust the friction on how smooth the knob slides. There are very few rigs I've ever touched that have ever, just put such a nice solid feel down, and it's such a joy to tune around on. This has got actually two processors in it, one that's dedicated to run the scopes live all the time in it, and another one that's dedicated to do the DSP and all your filtering. The receiver in this is only surpassed by their 7851, and the main thing is the 7851 has two of the same receivers that are in it. When you step up to the largest radio in their line, really it's like having two of these in the same box so that you can run independent stuff when you're contesting. But you can get that same performance in this rig at nearly half the price. Truly marvelous selectivity and sensitivity. The DSP filtering for noise reduction and the notch filters are just amazing. The radio's ability to distinguish what is noise and what is interference and separate the two is one of the best radios that I have ever had a chance to be able to use, and it was truly marvelous. This has got a 200-watt transmitter in it. There's an integrated power supply that runs the transmitter off of 48 volts, and this is a continuous duty cycle transmitter. This is a radio I feel that you could key down and CW at 200 watts and walk away from it and come back a day from now, and it's still going to be chugging along. And that type of precision and quality that they put into this is just something you're going to be able to depend on. And whether you're a person that likes to rag chew and talk for a long period of time, or whether you're a serious contester that's going to be running the pile-ups, the transmitter in this is going to be able to put up to anything you want to do and run at that full power and not even break a sweat. So they really did a wonderful job. Plenty of heat sink, everything you need to do to be able to work this rig to its highest capabilities. I wanted to mention some of the higher end features that are in this radio. One of the most advanced things is the fact that you can put a USB mouse and a USB keyboard directly to the front of the radio on the ports here. This radio has the ability to do RTTY and PSK31 without a computer, and you can type all your text and your messages directly into it. So those digital modes are going to be very easy. Your firmware for the radio is updatable through the USB port. All you need to do is get the firmware files, which you can download from Icom's webpage on this radio, and put it to a USB drive, and you can insert that into the port and then tell the radio to update its firmware. And it's a much more streamlined process than other manufacturers, which I really appreciate. Another advanced feature that is really popular in this is the ability to remote control this radio. There is an Ethernet port on the back of this radio, and you can directly connect a network cable to this. You do not need to hook this radio to a computer in order to completely computer control it. You can log into with just one computer and connect to this radio directly to the network, and you can drive the radio with your one remote computer, so you don't need a computer at each end. All of that control technology is built into the radio. You can go on vacation and leave this radio turned on and connected up to the network, and you can have your laptop computer and a microphone that you take with you, and you can drive your rig from anywhere in the world that you can make a connection to it with it across the internet. So the ability to run this thing remotely is just truly marvelous, and you got to have Icom's RSBA1 software to do that. For somebody who wants to blow this up and put it up on a screen and look at that spectrum scope wide and really make that VFO easy to see, you can do this and put it to a computer monitor or a larger screen TV with that VGA out. And that's a feature a lot of guys are going to appreciate running in a shack these days, and something that I think adds a lot of value to this. Next, I want to do a little bit of overview of some of the features on the front of this. First of all, they've got the silver metal buttons that run across the side of the screen and the bottom of the screen. Those soft buttons change depending upon what mode you're in and what scope features you've got enabled, but the items that they control are going to be on the display going around the edges, and that's pretty self-explanatory. I can really appreciate the spread out feel and the big radio feel of this. All of your filters have separate knobs and adjustments. Adjustments for the variable DSP controlled AGC. There are a lot of things that you don't have to go into a big menu system to find, because there's the knob or the button to go straight to it. And I think the ergonomics are laid out really well. Things like changing your tuning step are right next to the tuning knob, and having the keypad right above it makes for very easy jumping, doing direct frequency entry or jumping back and forth in your band. Also, your modes and your most common features are lined right up underneath the display. So it's something that once you get the hang of where stuff's at on this, I really find the radio is very easy to use. Things are just logically laid out, especially if you're familiar with several of the more affordable Icom HF rigs in the line. This is something you're going to be able to sit down right in front of and take right off and use without having to dive into a whole lot of advanced menus. This has a very nice auto tuner that's built into it. Once you turn on the auto tuner, all you got to do is key the mic, and as you transmit, it's going to start making matches to the frequency that you're on, working with the antennas that you have. And that auto tuner can be switched between all 4 of the antenna ports that are here on the back of the radio. So you've got a lot of capabilities. I know a lot of guys, when they get serious, might have a vertical antenna and a couple other wire antennas that are oriented different ways. This radio is going to give you the capabilities to switch back and forth different antennas, even label some for receive and others for transmit. So you're going to have a lot of options and capabilities for managing multiple antennas and make the best out of, band conditions and what you can do using each antenna that you've got. And that antenna tuner, I was amazed. It's so quiet. You can't even tell that it's doing its matching. While the majority of internal tuners are still a little narrow, you've got to be in that 3-to-1 ballpark range. This is still one of the quietest and the fastest tuners I have. It takes just a matter of a second or two for it to find its match, and you're ready to transmit and ready to pounce on a contact or jump into a pileup with it. And I really appreciate that fast-acting tuner. It's something that's not 20 or 30 seconds, it's only a matter of 2 or 3 seconds, and it runs its tuning cycle and you're ready to go. Here we're going to talk about some of the connections that are on the back, and we're going to start up in the top corner here near where the power cord plugs in. That's the VGA port for the external display, and you're going to have the Ethernet connection for that network connection. There's also an RS-232 port for connecting up to PC and doing control. As we come across to the other side here, we're going to see the 4 main antenna connections, and those are the 4 antenna connections that you can transmit on. Antennas 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all transmittable. Antenna 4 can be labeled for a receive-only antenna. Down here in the bottom, there is also a jack for a pass-through for a receive antenna out, but also there's a BNC jacks, and actually both of these are BNC jacks for a receive-only antenna. They give you a BNC jack for a transverter. There are more and more people that are using higher-end HF rigs because of their filtering for contesting even on VHF and UHF. There's plugs on the back for the meters for hooking an external keypad, which they make a small remote with a VFO. They've also got your accessory ports for hooking up things like your linear amplifiers, other tuners and other items are going to interface with that. They've got some RCA jacks for your other relay keying, hooking up an amplifier. There's actually digital audio in and out on this. So you can hook this radio up to a larger receiver or an amplifier and even pull the digital out to run this thing through other speakers. Icom does not include a microphone with this. Most people that are going to be buying a rig of this caliber are either using aftermarket mics or want a desk mic or have their own equipment that they're very comfortable with using. Icom makes a very affordable hand mic, that the HM36, that can be paired with this if you just want a basic mic to get started with, but there's a number of desk mics and things that are available separately. So keep that in mind. You're going to need a microphone when you pick one of these up. The owner's manual, I've actually got that pulled out here. They put in a nice 3-ring binder. Also, just a side note, when it comes packed new from the factory, the tuning knob is not mounted on it. They give you a small Allen tool and you slide the rubber cover off of the side of the tuning knob, and there's a set screw to where you have to mount the tuning knob to it when you get it. And you'll feel the quality of that tuning knob, just the weight that's in it. But that's a very easy install, and they even give you the little Allen screwdriver to attach it that comes with the box. They also give you a number of extra fuses, the accessories, extra DINs and extra ports for making some of your own cables. It's a heavy radio. This thing weighs nearly 70 pounds when it's all boxed up. So keep that in mind. If you order one, you might need a buddy to help you move it around and get it unboxed and get it set up. This is one of the highest end rigs available out on the market, and unsurpassed receiver technology that I was truly impressed with. Definitely a radio that the most discerning listeners are going to be able to appreciate. Check our website. That's at www.universal-radio.com for the latest accessories and everything that's available for this wonderful radio. And for someone looking for the best, please keep in mind this IC-7700 definitely brings you some of the best features out there.